We got another convention coming up soon. Come see us in Bettendorf, Iowa from June 21st to June 23rd for Planet FunkCon. Find out more information now by visiting planetfunkcon.com, and we hope to see you there. Whoa, what? We're talking about the original 1988 Child's Play? Well, it's a good thing I don't have an evil doll to chase me around the apartment while I'm talking about this film. The Snob doll was strangely absent during my review for Puppet Master, and Snobby has been getting heavily criticized for taking selfies at Chernobyl. So frankly, maybe I am a little concerned about what's going to happen in this review. Child's Play is the story of how we were all right to fear our Teddy Ruxpin dolls. It's the journey of serial killer Charles Lee Ray, who, with the help of slam poetry, possesses a good guy doll and grants a child's wish of seeing his favorite doll go on a killing spree. Screenwriter Don Mancini was heavily inspired by not only the Twilight Zone classic The Living Doll, but also Trilogy of Terror and 80s consumerism itself, specifically with the Cabbage Patch Dolls and the My Buddy doll, who Chucky bears a strong resemblance to. While going on to be a commercial and critical success, the movie originally tested very poorly with audiences. The original cut ran 2 hours long, featured more shots of the doll, plus Chucky was originally voiced by actress Jessica Walter. After this screening, the film was re-edited. Brad Dourif gave us the insanely memorable voice, and it was a much better paced film, with the reveal of the evil Chucky being a huge payoff halfway through the film. Directing duties went to Tom Holland, who also had a horror hit with Fright Night, whose star Chris Sarandon also stars in this film as Detective Mike Norris. The film has instant horror icon written all over it. So, let's actually watch the film. Guess it would be weird if I said all of that and then didn't watch it. The film wastes no time setting up the plot as Detective Norris chases down the lead singer of Ugly Kid Joe. This may seem intense, but Jimmy Wong's really is worth taking a bullet in the leg for. This is the Lakeshore Strangler Charles Lee Ray, who is abandoned by his partner Eddie Caputo, who's more of a Lousy Swan guy. The Tony's chicken is to die for. Oh, this is all in Chicago, by the way, if you couldn't tell by my Windy City poster. Hey! Who took down my Windy City poster? Stupid poster-stealing doll. I know you hid it somewhere. It's best to hide out in the toy store because really, where else are you going to get a better deal on Fireball Island? As the title for Dolly Dearest pops up, this whole sequence is just the original hardcore ending to Jingle All the Way, with much more anger.
You hear that, you son of a bitch? I'm gonna get you for it!
Charles Lee Ray does an excellent Chucky impression. Using the power of Voodoo, Charles transfers his soul into the nearest doll, thanking God that it wasn't a Mighty Max figure. Or he's just summoning a Chicago winter, I'm not really sure.
It's
gotta have something to do with Full Cheese Zombie. While this is a peculiar tangent for the police report, I'm just happy that above all else, Jimmy Wong's is still safe. Relax, this place was run by Joe Petto. It's actually a good thing that it blew up. Now we meet Andy, played by Alex Vincent, who you might remember is the kid with the good guy doll from 1993's My Family Treasure. Here he is watching Saturday morning cartoons and wearing something that he bought at a horror convention.
I saw this one.
Wait till you're 30. You're gonna binge watch the hell out of that show. It's Andy's birthday, so he's making his mom an 80s breakfast. This may arguably be the healthiest breakfast ever made in 1988. But then we get the most terrifying thing in the movie.
Good guys say 3 different sentences. We even turn our heads and blink our eyes when you talk to us.
Also, when you're 30, you're gonna binge watch that show while baked as shit. Here, Mom, this technically has less sugar in it than a box of Sugar Smacks.
How long you been up, birthday boy?
Since forever.
No, you haven't. I love that there's an update about the Lakeshore Strangler in the middle of a kid's show. Anyway, happy birthday. Here's some boring clothes. Maybe if you were better at making breakfast, your mom would have gotten you the doll you want. Here's some tools. Make the doll yourself. For you see, Andy, teach a man to fish. Screw it. Her friend Maggie from work says a homeless guy is selling the good guy doll in the back alley. This is the toy that Andy wants more than anything in the world, and the homeless guy cuts them a sweet deal since he had sex with that doll like multiple times. Clearly, their snooty boss, Mr. Criswell, has never had to buy Garbage Pail Kids cards from a flasher.
An emergency.
Wait a second, I'll take over for her.
Miss Peterson, you work in shoes, not in jewelry.
Thanks, distant relative of Gil from Frasier. That dude was a lot more grumpy before he fell in love and settled down with Marla Hooch from A League of Their Own. So, Andy, this doll may smell like a homeless man's penis, but here you go. Enjoy.
Oh, Mom, thanks.
Your mom bought you a killer doll because you're lousy at making breakfast, bro. While Mom has to work, Dinah Madoff's Maggie has to babysit. I'm worried they're gonna make her look like this in the remake. Andy's annoyed that Chucky wants to watch updates on his case, which why wouldn't he want to watch that? It's W Doll News. It's made for him. He keeps sneaking away to watch the updates on Eddie Caputo on the news, but personally, I think he's gonna kill Maggie simply because she didn't bring him a bowl of popcorn. Back then, we could not sleep unless we were in bed with dolls designed to look like Pippi Longstocking's comatose brother. The sequence maintains a good level of suspense, as we don't see the evil side of the doll just yet, aside from some quick flashes of movement in the background. It was an excellent time to be an evil doll, since kids' toys could easily double as murder weapons. Here, kid, have a real hammer. Happy birthday. You know, if Marty went on that date with Vince Fontaine from Grease, it probably still would have ended like this. Great, working a double at work, and now this.
Where's Maggie?
She had an accident.
You said that a little creepy there, kid. Are you sure you aren't a possessed doll? Seems like an accident. Criswell is gonna dock Maggie a week's pay for being dead. But it's Andy who first notices that Chucky ran through mountains of cocaine to shove her out the window.
Did you encounter
Andy!
Who, Andy?
I thought I told.
Who?
Chucky?
Your doll?
You wouldn't dismiss that so easily if you had bothered to read the script. Still better than if she got him the Annabelle doll. So that was an interesting night. Sweet dreams, Andy. Don't dream about falling from high places. And stop being weird.
Now, you don't really think that Chucky is alive, do you?
But he is.
Andy.
Even though Chucky is alive and evil, I'm still not convinced that Andy doesn't also go around killing babysitters. At least attendance at school is doubled, considering everyone seems to be bringing their good guy dolls with them. This was back in the day when students could just leave and go on their own field trip. Andy takes the L train and visits all the locations from Windy City. Here's where John Shea tried jumping the bridge. There is something creepy about Chucky always whispering manipulative shit in Andy's ear. As they try finding the Urkel house to take a picture in front of, they switch to evil tiny thing vision. Oh no, the cinematographer from Puppet Master is loose! You may think that Chucky is simply getting revenge on Eddie Caputo, but look how cold it is outside. That really is the best way to keep warm in Chicago. So much for kids being able to freely leave school again.
Nobody believes you about Chucky.
Way to not encourage your son's creativity, Mom. It's probably best that Andy spends some time at a mental institution with a strange old man who talks behind a mirror. On the plus side, peace and quiet. Plus, he discovers something new about the doll. He runs on solar power.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
And he's just a remodel of unused Exorcist dolls from the 70s. Why did no one want those? After all this build-up, we finally get to see Chucky go ballistic.
You stupid bitch, you filthy slut! I'll teach you to mess with me!
Thought that would be creepier. But this little shit can run quicker than when he was a grown man. She's got to catch up to him before he bangs the neighbor's kid sister doll. That camera angle is a lot closer to the doll than it was before. Now it's off to tell Norris that Chucky bit her arm with the Midas touch. I'm sure this'll go over well.
Does this look like I'm lying?
How did you get them?
Chucky bit me.
Oh, for God's sake.
All that aside, you should really get that looked at. Jared Leto's Requiem for a Dream arm looked healthier. Maybe that homeless guy will help. Ah, god damn it, I'm gonna have to save her from a pack of raping homeless men, aren't I?
No, wait, no! No! No!
Hey.
And that is why Prince Humpernick has my full support. Unfortunately, there's no way they can check out the demolished store, since by now it's already been turned into a Giordano's. What a wasted night, or is it?
But I did. I found out that Chucky is Charles Lee Ray.
What does the guy who assassinated Martin Luther King have to do with any of this? Before sending her off to the south side to see Chucky's apartment, he gives her advice to leave her purse at home, and also don't go to the south side. The car is safer, and that's got Chucky in it.
Good night, asshole.
See, he may be the Lakeshore Strangler, but this is where he also discovered hilarious knife play. The action here is solid, and so are the doll effects. The use of doubles blended in with animatronics goes together seamlessly. I really do feel like he just shot the hell out of that evil doll. Okay, fine, you were right about the doll, and just to be on the safe side, we put Stretch Armstrong on the 10 most wanted list. Chucky was taught a serious amount of voodoo by his associate, Bill Cosby. I really should have seen that coming. Just kidding. I'm sure that guy has a name that I probably won't even know how to spell.
Hello, John.
See, I don't know if that's John with or without an H. The more Chucky stays in this body, the more human he becomes.
You mean I have to live out the rest of my life in this body? No fucking way!
Damn, now he really wishes he possessed a baby wee-wee doll. John may know magic, but given that he taught it to a serial killer and told said killer where his voodoo doll is, he might not be very smart. However, voodoo dolls totally work. Chucky has to possess the first person he told his secret to, so...
I'm gonna be 6 years old again.
And you won't have to buy a new wardrobe. You're too late again, detective, but we do have the murder weapon, a good guy's screwdriver. It doubles as a frickin' knife. A killer doll is probably the least terrifying thing in this gloomy hospital. Doctor, not only is Chucky here, but isn't this room a little harsh? Also, I'm not sure you should have left me in here with my belt. And you didn't even give me a gown. You just tossed me in here with my regular clothes. So much for Black Devil Doll from Hell being the most convincing doll movie ever. Or maybe it wasn't. It's been a while since I saw that. All this commotion. I wonder what's going on in the basement.
You got feelings for this big idiot? Is that what it is? What's the dig going on, Ishmael? What the fuck, man?
No, that's happening in the basement of the remake. This one clearly shares the same universe as Shock Treatment. Spoken with the urgency of Willy Wonka trying to stop kids from being injured. The hell kind of hospital is this? It's dirtier than any of the abandoned apartments that we've seen in this flick. Andy clearly watched Too Smart for Strangers and knows exactly what to do here.
Ugly doll.
Fuck you.
Block the door from Chucky's bad attitude. Not that that works, because Chucky murders Santa Claus and breaks into the apartment. The way this knife looks, I'm guessing this is an officially licensed good guy doll knife for the kids. How is he hurting them? I mean, come on, he's small, and we all know it's impossible for something small to hurt you, let alone possess you.
Oh, ya Shango. Yenya Makumba.
And then the cops are gonna barge in and rob Chucky of his religious freedom. I particularly like that the more human he looks, the more of a distinct widow's peak that he gets. Chucky is ruthless as hell, but this is still better than the 1 week that they had a Chihuahua as a pet. This is rather suspenseful. I firmly believe that this thing is gonna kill them. Quick, throw them in the fireplace before they find more stuff to trip over. If there's one thing that came out of Andy and Chucky's friendship, it's that Chucky taught him how to do good one-liners.
We're friends to the end, remember?
This is the end, friend.
I bet that killed him.
Oh wait, boy was I wrong.
Hello, Andy.
Good lord, this is the real downside to having Terminator toys. This is a fantastically edited sequence that, like Freddy Krueger, is a reminder of when Chucky was rather intimidating and a little terrifying. And Chucky's stuntman Ed Gale knows a thing or two about terrifying. He was Howard the Duck. Chucky's heart must be destroyed, and a bullet does the trick this time. It's way more complicated in the sequels, which involve hot glue, air hoses, and giant fans. But still some good lines.
I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sweet dreams, Andy. Now we have to rewrite that damn paperwork.
You believe me now? Yeah? But who's gonna believe me?
Who cares? After this story breaks, put the doll on eBay. You'll all be rich. I have a feeling there will be more of these movies, since the ending literally leaves the door open for a sequel. And sequels there were. After this movie was a big success, earning $44 million against a $9 million budget, critics were even fond of the film as well, with one of the great Ebert quotes saying, "Chucky is one mean son of a bitch!" The film not only spawned 6 sequels, all under the eye of creator Don Mancini, but of course, there is a remake. It's not from the original creators, and Chucky appears to be a killer doll app who spends the movie murdering the toys from Toy Story. Someone agrees Pixar should have stopped after 3. I guess it is kind of intriguing that they got Mark Hamill to be the voice of Chucky in the new film, but you are forgetting that it's a remake, so it's gonna be terrible. Actually, I don't know. I haven't seen the film. It might be terrible, it might not be. The hell? That thing moved slightly to the left!
He said that Maggie was a real bitch and got what she deserved.